Every time you have annexation, you have a hot topic. People don't want to get annexed. Yet I believe there is room for annexation, however, at a pace. We got to continue also to serve our citizens here in the city of Seguin. A lot of times when we annex, our monies go beyond the city. The city, of course, has a lot of problems here. We need to address those problems as well. Annexation, of course, can travel in all directions. Now, basically, the ETJ from New Braunfels to Seguin, ETJ for New Braunfels all the way down beyond Cordova Road. We got to take a stance. As mayor, I would encourage us to go ahead and talk to New Braunfels, see if they will retract their ETJ beyond Cordova Road, because Cordova Road is a thoroughfare that's going to be very important once I-30 comes in. We can connect I-130 along FM20, Cordova Road up to 46. We don't want to alleviate a lot of traffic to the city. Of course, there's a lot of businesses that need those people come driving through here. But however, we need to eliminate some of the problems, some of the vehicles that are traveling down. You see Court Street, you see King Street, you see Kingsbury, you see all these streets, Austin Street, and so forth. But we have problems, so we've got to look at that as well.
I've always supported annexation. It's one of the best things for our city for growth, especially the ETJ. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. We need a well-planned, like a master plan annexation. Here we had problems about 2 or 3 months ago with the annexation. I think it was concerning some areas, and some areas qualified, some didn't. Well, about 15 years ago, our city attorney got together with me and I told him, because I was in the committee, what had happened. Because some people didn't want to be annexed concerning their property. And what me and him came out with, that it was finger annexation. Finger annexation is yes, you, not you, yes, you, not you. There's no way to annex. You annex concerning to the growth of the city. And some people don't want to be annexed just because they need to. You can't do that. You got to annex concerning the way it's best for the city to grow. And I'm for annexation. Thank you.
I just want to make it clear that I am against forcing annexation unless it's absolutely necessary. I do have a solution, though, to get citizens on the outside of our ETJ into our city limits. Okay, right now our ETJ extends 2 miles, so all the connectivity land, all the contingent land, is able to voluntarily be a part of the city, and that's through an application that they sign. They want to voluntarily be a part of the ETJ, and if you want to deal with annexing them later, you can. That's when you can present them with the ideas and tell them, hey, this is why we need to annex you. But if we make our city attractive, they're going to want to join us. And once they sign a contract that they want to be a part of our ETJ, no other city, no other municipality can go ahead and get them, because they have signed a contract with us, and so we're safe. And it's not about building a kingdom. It's about using our resources, what we got, and that's an effective way. There's a mayor in Fort Worth, a little city, and what he did was at a town hall meeting, and he invited all the citizens on the outskirts of the city to come and discuss being a part of their city's ETJ and voluntarily signing up. And that's what I'm definitely for.
I've been a part of several annexations as a city councilman, and I will tell you for a fact that very, 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 very few people want to be annexed. It's a fact of life, but it's something that we need to do, and we need to do it aggressively. Not so much as to keep the property in, but I think what is even more important is that we need to have the intellectual capital of the people who are out in these areas so they can be brought into the city and be made a part of the government. I see a few of my friends out here who are outliers who really do a good job in some of our city positions, but they're not able to because they live outside of the city. So I think in that regard, not only do I, these are people that are taking advantage of everything that's in the city, and they know it, but they're still on the outside. So they need to come in and be a part of our city. Annexation is like planting a tree. The best time to do it was 10 years ago. I can't look back on any kind of annexation we've ever done that wasn't beneficial to us, even Oak Village North. That is going to happen, and I thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to do a repeat question that we asked the city councilman candidates, and it's a similar question, but again, we feel like it's an important question to discover. And that would be do you feel that the construction of a new high school is needed, and if so, how would you see this through? And we'll start with Mr. Bruder.
Yes, definitely. I'm for a new high school, and definitely I'm for a new location. I believe there's a lot of opportunities out there throughout the city. Earlier, I heard somebody mention one of the council members at the south side. You got the east side, the west side, north side as well. I believe a lot of prospects will be toward the northern western part of the city. Of course, this also brings back to the fact that, or the thought that I would like to see the mayorship, kind of get more involved with the school district and the county. The school district, of course, we're talking about right now because basically it has to do with our kids. I believe strongly in education, and I believe that us working together in unison as one, we can accomplish quite a bit. I think the future, again, draws back to our youth. We need to educate them, get them started at an early age, and make sure that they get all the potential, all the right things to get a good education.
The question is, do we need a new high school, right? Well, to tell you the truth, I always been involved with community affairs, especially the high school. But unfortunately, I don't live in the Seguin School District. Right on the line where I live, on the street, is the line with the Navarro and Seguin School District. Our son went to Navarro High School, elementary, all the way to the graduating high school there. But Seguin High School does need a new school. And that should have been approved by the citizens or Norman at least 10 years ago. The longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. Not just to build this building, but to the taxpayers. Why the taxes go up? It's not being functioning the way it should. But my concern there is the school board should appoint a committee to look into it. I guess they already have, but I haven't heard anything concerning when they're going to present it again. The longer the wait, the more it's going to cost. But we do need a new high school. Thank you. Larger.
Okay, I do support it with a question mark, because I'd like to see the bond package. I'd like to see the investment money that they're going to borrow and see what's it going to take, what kind of effect it's going to have on the taxpayer, because I'm a big believer in effectively using taxpayer dollars. And I want to make sure that they have a plan in place. For instance, when they have a new high school, what are they going to do with the old one? So I'd like to see what's going to happen in the future, and then how much money it's going to cost to pay back over a period of time. And also, maybe we should hold their feet to the fire, because we've had some poor performances on the test. And maybe we say, hey, we'd like to see those test performances go up, because not all the time if you throw money at an issue, is it going to make it better. Thank you.
Yes, I think we need a new high school. I think the chamber just did a survey, and I think that is one of the top priorities when people move here, when companies are looking to move here, is whether we have good schools. And the high school does need to be replaced. Getting a new look at it, we have an exchange student with us this year who's back at Seguin High, and I can see that definitely we need a new high school. But we need to keep in mind that we have a school board. They're the ones that do what needs to be done as far as the taxing. They're the ones that have to make these decisions. All we can do as a city is promote it, be the bully pulpit, and try to be on their side and do what needs to be done from a publicity standpoint, from a technical standpoint, from an infrastructure standpoint, things like that. We can't really get terribly involved deeply into it except to try to promote it and support them, because that really is a purview of the school district, and we don't want to really be stepping on their toes.
Absolutely, we need a new high school. I mean, we need a new building there, because I've toured the high school, and it's in dire need of help. And these students have also made their voices known that we do need a high school. We do need a new building, whether it's in the west side, east side, or wherever they want to build it. But it's essential that we have a new high school. Now we need probably a better way to promote the bond issue, and then I think those committees should make sure that we don't have such a high bond that people will, because of the economy, it's not where it should be, and I think that if you have a lower bond, I think that the people of this city will certainly support a new high school.
Do you feel there should be more emphasis on housing development, and what are your ideas? Mr. Contreras, you're going to start.
Okay, what was the question, man? Let me tell you, I got some water in my ear before I came out here, and I can't hardly get it out. I can see what you're louder, please.
Do you feel there should be more emphasis on housing development, and what are your ideas?
I still didn't understand. You said the development should be...
Yeah, you believe in housing development, and what are your ideas?
Housing development and ideas, we do need it. Housing is really important here in Seguin. We're real low in housing, and I'm getting to see more contractors coming in and doing more development. But also, don't forget, our economic development has helped a lot on that. And more housing we have, the better off it'll be for Seguin's tax rate and all together. But I am for more housing, and I have always worked with that in the city council to get more housing in, because we're just low in housing, and we do need more development. So as far as that goes, we do need more housing. Thank you.
I would like to see more business growth, more money available, because I'm going to have to steal the line from Romney, and he says, when the tide rises, so do the boats. So we need to get things in here and lower that tax rate, make things affordable, and things are going to start growing, and things are going to start changing. That's what I believe.
I think we've got some pretty good things happening with the DR development out off Capote Road. I think the main thing that we need to do is be careful on how these things are platted, where they are, how the water drains, and make sure that they're in a place that's not going to in any way endanger the environment. I think that's a very important thing. But we do need to have more housing. It's one of the things that keeps those people living in Schertz and New Braunfels and other places. So I think what could also cure that would be some annexation, so we could bring more of that usable land into our control, so we could have something to do with it. Thank you.
We need to be more business friendly to these companies that are coming into the city. With DR Horton, the developer, they were ready to leave Seguin because of that problem. Mr. Medrano actually called me and said, you know what, they're leaving right now. So he says, can you call Nelson? And so I called Nelson, and he came back. He was already in San Marcos. He came back. And I took him to the city manager, and they worked out their problems. And so now it's not completed yet. We have some issues yet. But at least they came back to this city, and they're going to be bringing like 380 homes. And so I'm very proud that I was able to help them come back to the city.